So I wanted to make this video because it's been a while since I've done it and quite a lot has changed since then. But it's something that I hear a lot, on the calls, as a closer. I hear a lot of people and their kind of goals and ambitions for themselves. I'll resonate more closely with people my own age and looking to do something similar to myself, which is kind of live that life being bound by nothing in the sense and traveling the world and working from the laptop and all that sort of stuff. It's great, 100%, but it is definitely a more lonely way to live life. And I'm really coming to realize that recently. I'm no longer in Berlin. I moved to Valencia because my visa ran out, and I was able to get a new visa here as a digital nomad. And throwing yourself into something that is so meaningful to you and really, really trying to be good at it, because really all I want in life is to be an expert at something. I just want to be the guy or a guy in a specific field. And this is the kind of route I've taken. It does create a lot of loneliness around the rest of your life, spending weekends working and late nights and not going out and not seeing people and not drinking and not partying and you have to be okay with that. Like really, truly, completely okay with that, because I realized when I left Berlin, I wasn't 100% okay with that fact. And it was hard for me because there was this pull kind of, especially in the first 6 months of working in Imperium, just kind of like pulling me away from what I really wanted, or I didn't even really know what I truly wanted, and it was tough because I had all these new things around me and I wanted to experience those, but I also had this really strong drive and purpose that I was pursuing, and it was hard. It really was, and I was getting not the best out of either of those things. So I was kind of getting half of both, and nothing really annoys me more than that. And I just, I see a lot of, I've been watching the YouTube videos for years now, not so much anymore, but when I was starting the journey, and they all talk about, how great everything is and how it's always good. But that's just not true. And it's not my experience, and it's just not life. Like if you want to be, and I'm not saying that I'm exceptional at anything. I'm just saying that if you want to try to be the best version of yourself and potentially exceptional at something, there is a significant amount of loneliness associated that, especially in the beginning. And I'm in that sort of beginning stage in a sense, for my career, I guess you could call it. And I'm in the lonely part of my journey, 100%. And I just hate that it's idealized in the way that it kind of sells you this big promise and doesn't really give you the realities of what life is actually like when you try and pursue things. I mean, I heard a quote, it was from Kobe once, where it was like, he, due to a lack of communication with his peers, he wasn't invited to parties and family gatherings, and he spent Fridays, Saturday nights just dribbling a basketball in his house. And he said that was the best thing that ever happened to him. And I can resonate with that in the sense that moving to Spain, not knowing a single person here, getting a fresh start, not speaking the language, yeah, it's extremely tough. It really is sometimes. I get off my computer at night and it's just silent. And it's just me, myself with my thoughts. But that's where you figure out the most about yourself. And I've just had to come completely to terms with the fact that I'm willing to sacrifice a lot for my future. And just honestly, at the end of the day, like, I just want to be content with the effort that I put into something, anything. And this is the thing that I've chosen at the moment. Who knows what it will be like in the future, but I just want to be proud of the effort that I've put in and know that I went for something and didn't allow feeling a little bit lonely to get in the way of me pursuing that. So And it also acts, in my opinion, as a massive benefit. It quiets the world. It allows you to focus on something fully. Your attention isn't getting dragged away. You know, my attention was getting dragged away every direction when I was in Berlin. You know, the lights, the sounds, the people. And I needed that to give me the perspective that I have now, that I think is going to push me much further. And I guess I don't really even know what this video is about. I think really now going forward, these videos are just going to be kind of diaries to myself. And if it helps someone and someone likes what they hear, then that's great. But it's really nice to kind of look back at those other videos that I had. And, you know, in the beginning, it was much more fear around the future, fear of the uncertainty, the unknown, like what was going to happen, what path was I going to take. Now I've found that path, I've found that outlet, I've found that kind of purpose. Now it's coming to terms with a new part of it. Now that I've found that road, coming to terms with the fact that it's going to be a lonely one and a quiet one. And I just have to be okay with that. And, you know, even the fact that I've got friends back home and I do see them, you know, every few months when I go visit them in London, or, you know, we go traveling together. It's still lonely even when you are surrounded by a room of people. That's the thing that really gets me, because it's more about the path and the choice and the direction that you're on that creates the loneliness, in my opinion, the actual fact of just being around people. You know, I could go out on the weekend and hang out with people that I'd typically in the past be friends with, and you still feel kind of like an outlier in the sense. Not to say that what they're doing is not a good way to live life. It's just a different way that I want to live life. So certain things just don't feel the same for them as to me. And that is also okay. That's important for me to really understand. You know, I used to not understand that as much, that I used to push people away because I felt like what they were doing was wrong. And that was just ignorant of me. Just because they don't want to do the things that I want to do doesn't mean that I'm more right than them. It's just a choice. And we just have to live with those choices. So, I don't know. I guess if there's anyone sort of on that journey, whether it's starting a business or trying to do something different, and you feel like you haven't found your people, or just in general it's lonely, it is, and that's okay. And it motivates me actually to know that some people who are on a similar journey to myself maybe, and they can't deal with this type of feeling, may be the reason that they quit. And I just will not allow just this feeling to be the reason that I give up on myself and kind of go back to the comfort of my family and my comfortable life back home. Because it is really comfortable. It's so easy. And that's the thing that scares me the most, is how easy it is to quit. It's more scary knowing how easy it is to go back to that than it is scary knowing how difficult it would be to move forward. Because at least when I'm moving forward, at least I'm trying, regardless of kind of how it feels. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess this is just like a video journal to myself about this specific part of my life. Who knows, in a few months I might feel completely differently and I might have a different perspective. But this is where I'm at right now, and I'm just not going to let it stop me from wanting to do what I want to do and achieve the things I want to achieve. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of it.